I think to a degree I was conscious that I was covering up, my confidence with assholeness. Because there's a difference. Like I was asking, I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm me, like I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and I don't fucking care. That was cowardly on my behalf. But in reality, when I got to this where I'm at now, and I'm still not there. This is a journey. This is a lifestyle. I'm fundamentally different because of my life choice to be fit oriented or health oriented.
And you would say that's the major change is your confidence.
Confidence, because a man needs confidence,
and that's a good foundation for a lot of other.
Because I'm gonna go after the things other people are scared to do. I'm gonna do things. It feels good to walk in a room, as small as it is, and wear a t-shirt and not stretch it out because you're scared that your love handles are poking out a little bit too much. It's small things, man.
Oh, so you're saying you don't?
Another 30 days, I'm out the tee. I'm at the pool and the beach, baby. But it's necessary. Every man needs it, and I'm 35. My testosterone. I want to make sure I keep.
If I had to guess what it is, I honestly, maybe I'm just projecting. I'm possibly projecting, but I don't think it's so much that you care what people think. I don't think. What I'm saying is, I don't think you lacked confidence before because you cared what people think, and now you don't care what people think. I think it's
I can't know what I think.
No, I think it's you. I think the confidence comes from the sense of accomplishment.
Oh, 100%. That when I get on the scale or I look and these pants that didn't fit, and I say, "You fucker, you did it." Because you decided that you wasn't going to eat the French fries, you wasn't going to eat the burger or the pizza. You say no to certain things because, to me, it's outside of just the physical stuff. It's me testing my mind that I'm not this procrastinator half-assed. I'm a dreamer. I was an avid procrastinator. I'm gonna do it. I still do it to this day. For instance, we don't have any podcast up just yet. So clearly, but because I'm also a bit of a perfectionist and I'm looking for the right orientation and composition and this lighting has to be like, but it's a constant, not to get off of what I was talking about. Damn, I lost my train.
You got puppy fever?
No, the fucking puppy came in here and just threw me off. I said, what is he doing? What was I talking about? I was talking about, the sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
And you become addicted to it. Oh, shit, I wasn't doing this many push-ups before. I remember when I first started trying to do push-ups, and I was like, yo, shit, I'm fucking weak as fuck.
Let's throw some negativity in there. You were mentioning how, I still procrastinate to a certain extent. What? You spoke to me there because I had this epiphany the other day where I'm driving in my car and maybe it has to do with age as I get older.
Okay.
But I had this mushroom trip like sensation where I lived up to my max potential. As in, I made no mistakes ever in my life.
Okay.
I was at 100 since day one, fully motivated, fully disciplined, never strayed from the path. I was at 100 since I was 7 years old, and I saw what my life could be if that were the case. But it's not the case. That's not the reality. The reality is that you this and that, and we can get in. You already know. You're talking about it right now. How right now, after talking about all these accomplishments, you're mentioning, but I still. How do you handle that juxtaposition of this boost in confidence, this addiction to accomplishment? At the same time, you still feel this self-awareness of, I can do better. What is your explanation, your understanding of, if I know I can do this, why am I still doing this?
Oh, okay. So accountability. accountability, and it's something that you're not gonna wake up overnight and be perfect. There's still times where, and you also have to be ready to deal with that part of yourself, right? I was ready to deal with the part of myself that was just like, I'm tired of looking like this. I'm tired of feeling like this. I want different. But now that comes into, in order for you to reach certain levels of success in terms of your finances and where your trajectory of your life, you got to be ready to deal with that. Because that's a different muscle. That's a mental muscle. Where you're going to have to say, no, you're going to do it. And it's going to suck, or it's going to take time, and it's going to be annoying. It's going to be tedious. It's, we kind of just want to get to this place of just like, where you're firing off on all cylinders, but you don't get to that place until you start putting into it's you have to fix the microtransactions. My brother said, we're talking about there's 3 different people. There's people that wake up in the morning and they there's the guy that fixes bed, there's the guy that doesn't fix his bed, there's a guy that does fix his bed, but he was like, I'll do it later. Which guy are you? I was the guy that was just, I'll do it later, but I never ended up doing it. There's a guy that just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then there's the guy that actually fixes his bed. Because the mentality is, why fix it? I'm just going to get back into it. That was my mentality. But it's wrong. Because the microtransactions that we allow ourselves to do.
Also, bed bugs prefer a fixed bed. But
that's true. Scientific. Oh, shit.
But don't use that as an excuse.
I don't know.
Because the psychological benefits of making your bed every morning
I don't want fucking bed
is
bugs.
worth the bed bugs.
No, it's not.
Or it's worth the increased probability of bed bugs.
Jesus Christ. You're scaring the shit out of me. I fucking hate bed bugs.
Because you've been making your bed every morning?
No.
That's what you worried about. So isn't that my point right there?
Yeah,
Isn't that my point right there, that in the same breath that you recognize that
I'm still bullshit sometimes.
So here's my thing. So I'm trying to understand.
We're doing so good with liquor
that
by the time after hours is here, we're liquorless. But we've been doing.
That's kind of the point, though, because after hours is supposed to be the after effects of the regular episode liquor. That's good. What I'm trying to introduce to my psyche is this understanding of not believing you're one person. You're not one God. You're not one audio. You're not this. You are a community in your own head.
Oh,
you are the conscious you, the subconscious you.
There's a is it diagnosis or prognosis?
Depends what you're getting at.
What is it called? You ever seen the movie Split?
Yes.
With M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, good movie.
Amazing movie. The Beast. He suffered from, what was it called?
Schizophrenia.
I guess you could call it that too.
Split personality.
But it's associated.
Dissociative identity disorder, something like that.
Yeah,
DID. DID.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I think it's DID. Yeah.
To a degree, we all suffered that because there's so many various U's. But I mean, that's the extreme of it. But there's the many variables of yourself that you're constantly in a battle to who's gonna share the light the most and what benefits to that particular you. Because there's sometimes where I gotta be a me that I know should share the light more because he's going to fight for my benefit more. This is me being a passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like I battled with this my whole life. My grandmother told me the best thing she ever taught me was the strongest word you would ever the most important word you would ever learn in your life is no. No, I can't do it.
What do you mean by passive aggressive? Because I don't know if I am or not. I don't think I am, but
I'm a passive aggressive.
Would you consider me passive aggressive? What makes you say that? Because I
want to see you. I think that you're measured, whereas I've let things. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not a passive aggressive. Maybe I'm just more measured about things, and I'm more tolerant because I just understand people just fall from grace more than often.
I don't have a confident definition of passive aggressiveness. I've heard the term. If I had to try to say what I would consider passive aggressive, is where you do something
like your girl just comes out on you and just starts beating you down, and you just take it in, and you don't express that you dislike it.
Yes,
you just take it. But passive.
No, I don't think that's passive aggressive. My understanding of passive aggressive, and then you could correct me. My understanding of passive aggressive is this: my understanding of passive aggressive is when you do something that's supposed to look one way, but it's because of a different feeling. So I am doing something that in a way that is supposed to look like I'm not mad, but I'm doing it in a certain way because I am mad. I'm not being truthful. My actions aren't matching my feelings. Mm-hmm. I'm being passive aggressive. I'm being aggressive in a way where you don't know that my intent is to be aggressive.
Oh, I do that.
But is that why you consider yourself passive aggressive?
Yeah.
So can you give me an example that doesn't have to be a real example, but it can be inspired by a real example that gives me the idea of what actions are you referring to that you say this falls into the category I'm a passive aggressive.
I'm mad about something specific and professionally. I might have somebody who's like might be late or was supposed to do something that they were supposed to do to hold up on their end, and they're late. But they're still calling me to do stuff that they need, and because I want to give them the grace that maybe they just forgot and it's busy, and then they would get a certain tension from me that is like, okay, but I'll do it. I'll do it. Well, I might be short, and I might be a little more condescending about it. I'm being passive aggressive about it. I'm not really saying, hey, motherfucker, you was supposed to pay me 2 days ago.
So you see, I don't think I have that problem because I feel that what I took from...
And I'm not talking about you.
I like that. I feel that one of the benefits I took from growing up with my mother and my sisters is... what I try to embrace with feminism.
They're not passive aggressive.
Is communication. I feel that I am very direct with.
You're like the Michael Jordan of communication.
I honestly, I feel like I am. I feel like that is one of my skills.
Legit.
I do feel
legit.
I do feel that my understanding of emotional intelligence and using that to communicate, I feel that I do that at an above average level. That is something I will say.
100%. I too myself think that I'm able, though I'm human, but that's one of my superpowers is my ability to communicate, but also to always understand the nuances of certain situations where I'm always I would always play devil's advocate in order to make sure that I'm approaching things in such a measured way that we get to a place where we get an actual resolve other than just a flaring of just emotions.
Yeah. But where passive aggressive, I feel maybe you have the ability to communicate when you choose so, but sometimes you don't, and that's where the passive aggressive comes in.
Yeah, maybe. For sure.
Versus where I always am acting. I'm always on with communication. Right. Because, for example, that scenario you gave, even now, if there's something tonight that I didn't like that you did,
I didn't cut the limes. I made you cut the limes.
No, so I would act the same way, smiled, same jokes, same hee hee ha ha's, and then the next tomorrow hey, you got a minute? Hey, listen, that moment there, you see, but I'm gonna act the same tonight, and then tomorrow I'll be like, oh, that moment there, that moment there where this happened and that happened and you did this and you did that. I feel that I interpret it this way, so. You know, if maybe you didn't see it that way, maybe we can compromise. Maybe moving forward, we have a new understanding of how I interpret things, how you interpret things, and we come to an agreement. So in the future, we don't have to have the same incident happen again.
Hey guys, y'all gonna see
special guest.
Special guest here. As you know, we do film this in my home office, and I'm a father, proud father.
No names, but you can say hi.
Yeah, no names. What?
Hello.
What you need?
See, this is real life. How many did you get?
1. Being a father. If you buy food and you eat, when you get food, when you have children,
You know,
it's not yours. You're going to.
I mean,
give it up.
that has to do with parenting styles too, because I'm built different. I think I like dogs too much. I'm talking shit. I am curious what type of father I would be. I am so curious.
Right.
Because a part of me thinks I'll be a terrible father. A part of me thinks I'll be the best father in the world. And then the reality is that I'm gonna fall somewhere in between that. Where is the question? You know what I mean?
Right. Because you're gonna, I keep bringing you closer to me because I enjoy your space.
Strange. You know what I think it is? I think I'm paranoid. One time I knocked a drink over with the arm.
With the arm.
So I'm
constantly. Oh, so you're okay. No, you get.
No, I'm constantly scared that I'm gonna knock something.
No,
with the,
you can get close to me. Like I like women's. But yes. Oh, that's a great question. When do you think babies come into the picture for you, buddy? Are we getting too personal?
No, nothing too personal for
Hey,
me.
yeah. Or when would you like to have children?
I would like to have children when, and I understand it's fun because there's a part of me that can argue all the ignorance that's about to come out of my mouth, but fuck it. I want to have kids when I have the resources to raise them the way I ideally see fit.
How much do you think it costs to successfully raise a kid? I mean, I'm sure there's like a journal, social science journal that explains like it requires $175,000.
You know what? I don't. Now that you asked the question, honestly, I don't think it's a certain amount of resources required to raise the kid. I think it's more so having the financial security to raise a child. So, for example, I am not beholden to my job.
Okay.
I feel that if I had a kid tomorrow, I can't have the same relationship I have with my job that I do now. I feel responsible to the child. I can't take the same risks. I can't. At the end of the day, it's because I still feel like a failure.
It's a commitment.
So it's a failure thing. To be honest, when I feel successful, I would have kids. I don't feel successful. I feel that I'm still a failure.
That's a strong word to say, failure. You haven't tried nothing yet.
What do you mean?
Oh, you haven't tried it. I mean, you've entered.
Well, I feel like I'm the opposite of success. Pick a word for it.
Yeah.
Pick a word for it. Because I don't take offense to it. It's just the reality.
Failing is
I'm comparing me to myself.
Okay.
So yes, I can totally see.
failing.
Oh, I can feel real good about how I can feel real good about where I am in life. I can feel great
Right.
if I compare myself to other people.
failing.
I can feel amazing, but when I compare me to what I feel like I can be, what I feel like I want to be, I feel that it's too far apart to raise children.
Okay, I like the kid stuff is cool, and when you feel that you're ready, I don't think you're ever like perfect. There's nugget because you know what? Without saying names, I have. Damn, this is a hard one. I know somebody who has children who were successful, and those kids. Thank God, I grew up the way I grew up. You would be surprised the riches of the parents and their the children.
Yes.
They raised.
I don't think success has to do with dollar amount though.
True.
Tying to what we were talking about before. Remember, we were arguing. We were discussing confidence. Is it confidence or is it a sense of accomplishment?
Accomplishment so accomplishment feeds the confidence.
Exactly. Right. So, and at the same time, accomplishments feeds to the feeling of success.
Facts.
So that's more. That might be a better way to say what I'm saying. Until I can prove to myself that I can accomplish things that are in my head, I don't feel that it's fair for me to raise a child. I don't feel that it's fair to the child to be brought up in this world by somebody who hasn't proven to themselves that they do have what it takes to fulfill certain goals and accomplishments.
Are you concerned that you may be missing out on the experience and those pressures that may push you to that motivation? Pound it.
So yes. There is a part of me that, and it's fairly recent too. So I like that you said that. So fairly recent. I'll say the last couple of years, I've recognized, there's a selfish reason to have children. Mm-hmm. Because that's what you're getting at. You're getting at the selfish reason to have children, which is that it's this thing that you hear of, but you don't know until you're there, where you're in the hospital room and the baby comes out and, oh my God, that's mine. I'm responsible for that. This thing lives, eats, and breathes depending on if I decide
needs me.
Exactly. And that gives you it's a performance enhancing drug. It's a shot of motivation that is separate from your own internal creation. You're not
just made a TikTok moment, dog.
You're not creating that motivation. You're looking at this external thing that is giving you motivation. And yes, I do recognize that, and that is why I try to match the hypothetical of one day having kids, and the longer it takes, the harder it'll be, and try to use that as a faux motivation, as a placeholder motivation. Is it the same thing? I don't know. I would have to have a kid to know. But also, how do you explain deadbeat dads? How do you explain